Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make your Windows 11 runs faster. So let's say you've upgraded your Windows 10 to Windows 11, or you did a fresh install and you started using your Windows 11, but you observe that your Windows 11 is beginning to get slower. So let me show you some tips and tricks on how to make your Windows run faster. So this can also be applied to Windows 10 or Windows 8. So first of all, what you want to do first of all is to make sure that some programs that starts with your device are actually disabled. So let me open my task manager. So if I open task manager, here we have the option called startup. So the startup, these options here, these apps actually starts with my device. So let me just filter with the status. You can see we have some of the apps here which are enabled by default. So which means that these apps are going to start with Windows. So when Windows starts, they will always start on the and be working on the background. So what I need to do now, for example, I'll say, okay, the keepers, I don't actually want to be using these apps all the time. I can disable it. And also I can say, okay, which other apps I don't want to use, like for example, the Cortana, I don't want to use that. Let me just disable that as well. Okay, for the antivirus, I will want that to run on the background to check if there are malware on my device or viruses. And also like the Microsoft OneDrive, okay, I use it all the time. I want that to also run on the background of my Windows. So you can check maybe for you if you are using Windows for a very long time, you may have a lot of applications that start with your device. So you want to actually disable one of these apps that actually starts with your Windows so that your Windows can run faster. So by disabling these apps, it makes Windows run faster. So let me just close this. So the second option we have to actually make your Windows run faster is to disable or turn off the get tips, tricks, and suggestion as you use Windows. So let me just go to my start menu, and I go to my Windows settings. So if I go to Windows settings, here I'm going to say find the settings. Let me just search for get tips, okay, get tips, tricks, and suggestion. So here you can see get tips and suggestion when I use Windows. So what happened is this: when you use Windows, Microsoft actually try to see what you actually do with your device. So by seeing what you do with your device, Microsoft can give you a suggestion and tell you, okay, is this what you want to do, or tell you maybe this is what you are looking for. But that also makes your device very slow. But not I don't when I mean very slow, it's actually slows your device because it also consumes some memory on your device. So if I start my task manager here, let me start my task manager. Here you can see the process, you can see the performance, you can see the CPU, the memory, the disk, and the internet. So actually, when apps are running behind the scene, it actually consumes some memory on your device. Here we can see the processor. Let me just see. You can see which of the apps is actually consuming the CPU and the memory, and also the disk. So let me just expand this a little bit. So here we can actually find just check this to filter on the memory. We can see, okay, I can see that Microsoft Edge is consuming a lot of my memory. We have the settings, we have the Windows Explorer as well. So here you can see which of the apps is actually consuming a lot of your memory. So you want to turn these get tips and suggestions when I use Windows off. Also, the third option we actually have is to reduce the startup and recovery time. By default, this is actually 30 seconds. So if I go to my system here and I scroll down to about, I click about, and we have the option called advanced system settings. Here in advanced system settings, if I go to advanced, and here we have the option the startup and recovery. So the system startup, system failure, and debugging information. Let me click the settings. You can see it says Windows 10. Actually, this is Windows default operating system. This is Windows 11 because I upgraded this device from Windows 10 to Windows 11. Here we can see that the time to display list of operating system is about 30 seconds. So to make this faster, I can just put it to about 10 seconds and click OK and OK again. So when my device starts, instead of taking about 30 seconds to start, it takes about 10 seconds and not 30 seconds. What we can also do is to actually delete temporary files. So if I let me just try to search for temporary. Let me just go to storage settings here on my device, and here you see is my local disk, my storage, and we are seeing all the apps, the documents, and features. So it's trying to actually calculate how many files are available there. So after calculating all the files, we see you can see we have some files on the temporary files, about 198 megabytes. So let me just click on the temporary files. Here you can see some of the file like Windows upgrade log files, about 316 MB, delivery optimization. So I can decide to have some thumbnails, temporary internet files, and also let me see, it says downloads. So I can decide to actually just delete even the recycle bin. I can say, okay, I want to actually remove all these files. It says these selected files and the data will be permanently deleted. I can just click continue to actually empty those files. So this is actually going to free up space on my device, which of course is going to make my device run more faster. And also we can decide to clean up our hard disk by doing a disk cleanup. So if I go to my search and I do like I type disk. So here we have the option disk cleanup. So let me just click on the disk cleanup. So it's trying to calculate. And at the same time, if I do a disk cleanup, it's going to actually take me like, for example, you see we've removed all the temporary files and every other file. So automatically, because those temporary files has been deleted, you can see we have lower options here. The only one we have now right now is just the thumbnails, and also like for example we have our temporary internet files. So I can actually click on the cleanup system files, so it's going to give me more options of files that can be deleted. So let's just wait for a little bit. Let me just say okay, I think it has come. So here we can actually just scroll down and see if we have more options of file that can be deleted. But at the same time, we can see that we've already deleted most of the file. We can click on more options. We can decide to say you can free more this by removing programs that you do not use. But let me first of all just do this and do delete files. So just like it suggested, so we can actually delete more programs that we do not use. So if I go to, let me just go to my apps that and open the programs and future. So if I open programs and features, here you can see we can actually uninstall a file we are not using. If, for example, I can say, well, I'm not using the KeePass. Okay, this is just about 16 MB. I can actually install it because maybe this file is actually running behind the scene and consuming some memory. I can just decide to say, okay, I want to install the KeePass because I'm not using it anymore. Okay, this has been removed from my device. So we can actually check all our programs here to see which of the files or application we are not using to actually remove them. So what we can actually also do again is let me go to my file explorer and I go to my C drive. I'll right click my C drive and I go to properties. Here, if I go to tools, here you can see we have the option to optimize and defragment our drive. So we can actually optimize or defragment our drives. You can see at this moment it says it is okay. I can actually go to the advanced here by checking more if we have any other ones disk which can be defragmented. Let me just try to analyze my C drive to see if it should be defragmented or not. So it's going actually very fast. So here you can see it says about 3% of my disk is fragmented. So which means I can actually optimize my disk by actually making giving my disk some space. So what happens is this: if you use your computer all the time, I actually compare my C drive or my hard disk to like my closet. So when you take a cloth, take a shirt or take a trouser from your closet, and you don't actually put it at the right place, at one moment to actually search for that cloth, it takes a longer time. So the same thing happens to your C drive. When you use your C drive all the times, all the files actually are all fragmented into different locations. So to actually defragment or optimize your C drive to make or to arrange all the files to the right place, it helps your device run more faster. So what we need to just do is just click optimize. So it's going to analyze your disk again, and then it will start to fragment it. So you can see that it's trying to relocate all the files. It says consolidated, defragmented. It's defragmenting the files, my C drive, relocating all the files which are necessary. And also you can see saving virtual state, and because I'm using a virtual machine actually for this training, and you can see that everything is going very fast because I've not been using this Windows 11 for a very long time. So these are the options you have to actually defragment, delete file apps you are not using, disable startup programs, turn off the get tips, tricks, and suggestion as you use Windows. All this will make your Windows 11 or Windows 10 run more faster. Thank you very much for taking your time to watch this video. My name is Kelvin Johnson. And please, if this video has been of any help to you, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and take your time and just give me a thumb up for also taking my own time to create this video. Thank you very much and goodbye. Bye.